Jordan Love, aka the heir apparent. Wow, will he have to follow some large footsteps from his previous predecessors? This is Sports Guy talking that you guys are watching and listening to. I am Dustin Tran, your host, as I am here today to talk about Jordan Love, as he will be the new starting quarterback for the Packers. The Green Bay Packers have had two back-to-back Hall of Famers play at the quarterback position for over 30 years. However, there is a possible chance that Jordan Love may be able to continue that tradition for the Packers, as they are trusting him to replace Aaron Rodgers. Before I say anything else though, I want to present you guys with the topic question. So here it is. Will Jordan Love prove his doubters wrong? And honestly, that's going to be dependent on how patient the Green Bay Packers are willing to be with him. So far, the Packers have been patient with Jordan Love. I say that they've been patient with Jordan Love because they've let him sit on the bench for 3 years, and they've let him develop from the sidelines and develop him in the practices instead of trying to throw him into the games and letting him play in the games. And they're not really taking a trial by fire experience in order to help Jordan Love develop his game. They're doing it the old school way, where you learn the game of pro football for the bench, where you learn by the practices, where you learn by getting scout team reps. And Jordan Love, from what I've seen from him, he looks good. I understand that Jordan Love looked rough the first time that I looked at him, but Jordan Love has looked better and better each and every time that he has been on the field. When Jordan Love first played, he was a guy that couldn't even beat out Tim Boyle for the backup quarterback spot. He was the third stringer, but then he got better. He put in the work. He put in the time to get better at his game. But then guess what? He became a backup. Then he got to start one game because Aaron Rodgers did not get the COVID vaccine and he ended up catching COVID. Jordan Love comes in, he struggles, he doesn't necessarily play a great game, but that doesn't deter Jordan Love from not getting better at his craft, because Jordan Love decides to go back to practice and retune in his skills, where he puts in the work, where he can refine his throwing mechanics, and where he looks better in the preseason just last season. And then he even got some game action for the Green Bay Packers last year, where he looked really solid for them. On Sunday Night Football against the Philadelphia Eagles, who, by the way, were the eventual NFC champs, Jordan Love came in and played some really good football for the Green Bay Packers. Yeah, they went on to lose that game 40-33, but you know what? Jordan Love made it a game. It was a blowout when he entered in it, and Jordan Love made the game interesting. And now Jordan Love is now in his fourth season. Now, based on what I described to you guys about what happened in Jordan Love's first 3 seasons, which Green Bay Packer had a similar career arc to this? Aaron Rodgers. That's who it is. Aaron Rodgers was drafted in 2005. He sat on the bench for 3 years behind guess who? Brett Favre, a Hall of Famer. Now, Aaron Rodgers struggled his rookie year. He wasn't even the backup quarterback on his own team. Aaron Rodgers was the third string quarterback to some guy named Craig Nall. Anybody know who Craig Nall is? Because I don't know who that is. Craig Nall? Anyone? I don't know. I never heard that name. I never heard that name either. That was the guy that was ahead of Aaron Rodgers on the depth chart in 2005. I think Aaron Rodgers put in the work. He ended up getting better in 2006. He even became the backup to Brett Favre. Then what happened? Aaron Rodgers came in for one game against the New England Patriots in 2006 and struggled in that game. Aaron Rodgers ends up breaking his foot. He ends up getting out for the season with a foot injury. And a lot of people are thinking, okay, this is probably it for Aaron Rodgers. He's probably a bust and he's probably never going to prove himself. But then what happened? In 2007, he put in the work. He got better in the preseason. And then Aaron Rodgers got to play against the Dallas Cowboys on Thursday Night Football in 2007, where Aaron Rodgers comes in and makes it a competitive game against the Dallas Cowboys, who were the number 1 seeded team in the NFC that year. You guys are starting to see the parallel between Aaron Rodgers and Jordan Love. Look, I'm not saying that Jordan Love is going to be this all-time great quarterback. That's just too much pressure to put on Jordan Love. But what I am saying about Jordan Love is be patient with the guy. And he has shown signs of a potential breakout year. I've seen Jordan Love highlights in training camp. Jordan Love throws a nice deep ball. He's refined his throwing mechanics. His footwork looks a lot better than what happened in the senior season in college football. Jordan Love looks like a completely different player from the last time where he was a full-time starter. Jordan Love has the ability to make big plays happen down the field. Now, I understand that the Packers receiving core is not really good, which is why I have doubts about the Green Bay Packers being a great football team this year. But Jordan Love is not going to be the reason why the Green Bay Packers will struggle. Jordan Love is going to play at a Pro Bowl level for the Green Bay Packers. I'm not saying that Jordan Love is going to make the Pro Bowl. That's just too hard to do in your first year as a starter. Unless if you're somebody like a Lamar Jackson or a Patrick Mahomes, it just doesn't really happen all that often. But the point of the story is this. Jordan Love is going to be able to make big plays happen down the field. He's going to get guys like Christian Watson involved in the receiving game. He's going to get Romeo Doubs going in the receiving game as well. Those are two young receivers that the Green Bay Packers have that I think are potential candidates to break out for the Packers this year, particularly because of the fact that they are starting wide receivers. Look, somebody has to catch some footballs for the Green Bay Packers, and it might as well be those two, because those two are the young guys in Green Bay that are getting all the first team reps, and Jordan Love is going to be dependent on throwing them the football. But what I think the Green Bay Packers will have to rely on in order for Jordan Love to succeed is in the run game. They've got Aaron Jones, they've got AJ Dillon, and Jordan Love is somewhat of a running quarterback as well. Sure, he's not a zone read type of quarterback, but he's the kind of guy where he can scramble if the pressure goes down, and he can roll to his right, roll to his left, and he can even run a little bit. Jordan Love to me kind of reminds me of baby Aaron Rodgers. Jordan Love is the kind of guy that can make all kinds of throws, but the biggest question mark for Jordan Love is, can he handle the pressure? I think he can handle the pressure. It's just that the rest of the Green Bay Packers offense is not really great whatsoever. Their offensive line is mediocre. The running game is good, but it's not elite, and the wide receiver core is absolutely unproven. Like I've said, I like Christian Watson and Romeo Doubs, but they are unproven. It's not like the situation with the Washington Commanders where they've already got proven receivers all over the field with Terry McLaurin, with Jahan Dotson, with Curtis Samuel, with Diami Brown. It's not like that. The Green Bay Packers don't really have that veteran wide receiver that you can go ahead and trust. I don't really think they're going to win the NFC North this year, however, even with Jordan Love playing really well, because their defense is also not really that good either. They've got Jair Alexander at cornerback. Yeah, he's good, but outside of Jair Alexander, the Green Bay Packers are not really good on defense whatsoever. They're kind of underrated in that regard, but they're not consistent there whatsoever. I remember during the Aaron Rodgers era that they were always hyped up as a good defense, but they never lived up to the expectation year in and year out. Now this year, the Green Bay Packers defense doesn't really have a lot of expectations, but I still don't think that they're going to be all that defensively. It's not like the Green Bay Packers are well coached on the defensive side of the field anyways. Now, when I compare them to the rest of the NFC North, though, I think it's a crapshoot. Even though I don't have the Green Bay Packers winning the division, if somebody told me that the Green Bay Packers end up winning the division, I would not be surprised if that happened. Whoever gets a winning record in the NFC North, to me, will end up winning the division. I don't really trust any of the four teams in the NFC North anyways, because of the fact that they don't really have great situations or great rosters around them, or the fact that their coaching situation is absolutely questionable. You look at the Chicago Bears, a lot of people are getting hyped about them because of the fact that Justin Fields is an electrifying player, but they're going to need more than just Justin Fields and DJ Moore and Deonta Foreman to step up to the plate. And they're going to need Matt LaFleur, the head coach of the Chicago Bears, to also step up his coaching game as well. So I'm not really a believer in the Chicago Bears. And then you've got the Minnesota Vikings, the most fraudulent 13-win team that I've ever seen in my life. They are a team that I believe will end up regressing big time this upcoming year because of the fact that Kirk Cousins is not that good of a quarterback. Yeah, he puts up great statistics, but he never shows up when it matters most. And the fact that Kirk Cousins has never made the playoffs in back-to-back seasons as an NFL starter. The Minnesota Vikings also have a terrible defense as well. That's going to play a major factor in the decline of the Vikings as well. And then, of course, there's the Detroit Lions, who everybody seems to be pegging as preseason favorites for the NFC North. And although I believe the Detroit Lions will end up winning the NFC North, I'm not necessarily that high on the Lions either, because Jared Goff doesn't show up when expectations matter most. He only shows up when there are no expectations placed on him. As soon as there are expectations and pressure put on Jared Goff, he doesn't show out. And the Detroit Lions defense is also not really that good either. Outside Aiden Hutchinson, they don't really have any notable names on that Lions defense, although their head coach Dan Campbell is certainly an inspiring figure. But the Detroit Lions, at the end of the day, even though they win the NFC North, I'm not really all that confident in them. The NFC North is wide open, but I'm not that confident in the Green Bay Packers being able to win the division because of the fact that their defense is still not that good, because of the fact that the running game is just all right, because of the fact that their wide receiver core is extremely unproven, and because of the fact that Jordan Love is just a first-time starter. I don't think it's fair to say that Jordan Love will end up taking the Green Bay Packers to the playoffs this upcoming season. A legendary quarterback in Aaron Rodgers couldn't even take that Packers team to the playoffs last season. So how could I possibly expect a first-time star to take that team to the playoffs? Do I think Jordan Love can play very well? Yes, because Jordan Love has a lot of ability to succeed, and they've also got a solid coach in Matt LaFleur, but the Green Bay Packers don't necessarily have a great roster. So what am I trying to say about Jordan Love? I'm saying that Jordan Love can play in the National Football League and that he can grow into a top-tier quarterback one day. But I think Jordan Love is just going to show a lot of progress this year. To expect him to have a Patrick Mahomes type of jump from year one to year two is just unrealistic for Jordan Love. I expect him to play similar to the 2008 version of Aaron Rodgers, where he puts up solid numbers, but the defense fails to help Aaron Rodgers win games at the end. So I got that situation happening with Jordan Love again. It's going to be a life cycle for the Green Bay Packers. Whatever we saw from 2008 Aaron Rodgers, we're going to see that from Jordan Love this year. So that is why Jordan Love will prove his doubters wrong, despite the fact that the Packers will end up missing the NFL playoffs this season. Remember, go ahead and subscribe to Sports Guy Talking. Like the video and please comment down below. If you guys do that, I may shout you guys out in my Instagram story every Monday. That will be for the Dustin Tran Instagram account. Make sure to follow me on Instagram at Dustin Tran and at Sports Guy Talking. Also, go follow me on Twitter at Dustin Tran. Again, go ahead and do those things that I just told you guys to go do. Hopefully, you guys enjoyed the content that was just produced. Peace out. I hope you enjoyed that video. Want more Sports Guy Talking, the home of great sports content? Make sure you click that subscribe button to get the latest from Sports Guy Talking. Go ahead and like the video, comment down below, check the description box on the video in order to follow my Instagram and Twitter. Also, be sure to check out more of the best clips from the YouTube channel Sports Guy Talking.